Queen Elizabeth II took the throne on the 6th of February 1952, aged just 25 years old, after the death of her father and predecessor, King George VI. Holding the throne for 70 years, she is the second longest reigning monarch in world history, behind King Louis XIV's 72-year reign in France. Now aged 96, the palace must seriously begin preparations for her inevitable demise. But planning actually began nearly 60 years ago. Since the 1960s, Operation London Bridge has been created, revised and kept secret from the public. That is until March 2017, when Guardian journalist Sam Knight gathered anonymous sources to detail what has been planned for the aftermath of the Queen's death, publishing London Bridge is Down, the secret plan for the days after the Queen's death. Then, in September 2021, even more documents from the official plan were leaked to Politico, revealing the details of the formal procedures upon the monarch's death, referred to as D-Day, and the 10 days of mourning to follow. Death is a part of life, and we know that it is impossible to predict and plan the implications of death. But the British Royal Palace seems to be an exception, with everything down to the minute mapped out. Here's what will happen when the words "London Bridge is down" are spoken. In the Queen's final hours, it is expected the monarch will be surrounded by her medical team and her loved ones. When the time comes, the medical team will inform the Queen's private secretary of the news, who will then contact the UK's Prime Minister with this message: London Bridge is down. From there, the news will travel to the Foreign Office to let governments of the world know of the Queen's demise, including the 54 nations under the Commonwealth, 15 of which Queen Elizabeth is head of state. The Royal Palace will hang a poster with a statement announcing her death on Buckingham Palace's gates, and they will change their website to a simple black background with the same statement. Flags will be lowered to half-mast. As for the press, the large organisations like Reuters and Associated Press will be notified. The event is something the BBC has been planning for over 30 years. Their TV anchors know exactly what to say, rehearsing the delivery of the announcement in preparation. Radio stations have sad, inoffensive music playlists to play when they get the signal from obit lights, activated in national or international emergencies to cue a switch to the news.
We are interrupting our normal programmes to bring you an important announcement.
However, the most crucial part of announcing to the world the death of Queen Elizabeth II is social media. At 6 p.m, Charles, Prince of Wales, who will become King Charles III, will deliver a national broadcast announcing his mother's demise. It is expected that the entire world will have heard the news of her demise within a few hours on D-Day. The death of Queen Elizabeth II is going to disrupt not just the UK, but the entire world. The Royal Mint will have to produce new coins with the new monarch's image on them. TV schedules will be completely altered to cater for news updates, live streams of memorials and other programs to honour the Queen. Professional sporting matches will be postponed or cancelled, including cricket, hockey, rugby and football matches. The United Kingdom stock market will not open on the day of the Queen's funeral. Public transport will run on limited services, some stopping entirely during the funeral service. Queen Elizabeth II's death will certainly make waves right around the world, with everyday life coming to a halt for days, possibly weeks. After D-Day, the UK and many areas around the world will commence 10 days of sorrow and spectacle. D+1, the day after the Queen's death, will begin with the proclamation of King Charles III as the new monarch of the British Royal Palace at 10 a.m. From there, Charles will commence the Four Nation Tour, travelling to Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales to meet his citizen and attend local services to remember his mother. But it won't be the shiny black cars and video live streams as expected in the 21st century. Instead, the UK will wind back the clock. Horses and carriages will transport the King and royal officials. Men in traditional Elizabethan attire will proclaim the news to the town. Cannons and guns will go off throughout the week, saluting the Queen. On D+5, Queen Elizabeth II's coffin will be transported in a military procession from the throne room in Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall. Around 1 million people are expected to line the streets of London to witness this massive parade. The procession is expected to arrive at Westminster Hall precisely on the hour, so that Big Ben will chime just as they come to a halt. For the next 4 days, the Queen's coffin will lie in state for public viewing for 23 hours a day. The queue for public viewing is anticipated to be around 9 kilometres long, lined with portable toilets, police and canteens. VIPs can access tickets and assign time slots to view Queen Elizabeth's coffin, and for the first time in British royal history, women of the royal family will be allowed to access the viewing. D+9 is the day of Queen Elizabeth's funeral. In the days prior, those involved have rehearsed and practiced the ceremony to ensure it runs smoothly on the day. Ordinary happenings in the UK will slow to a stop to tune into the event and pay their respects. At 11 a.m, the coffin will arrive at Westminster Abbey. The funeral will begin. At midday, the UK will observe a 2-minute silence. Her Majesty's body will be laid to rest in King George VI Memorial Chapel, to be with the former monarch, her father. The coffin of her husband of 73 years, Prince Philip, will then be moved to the chapel to rest for eternity next to his beloved wife. These 10 days will no doubt completely alter everyday life around the world. It will be the event of the century and a new chapter of royal history.